살려줘.
Oh, honey, you've come to the right place. Get ready to have that plot spiced off because this is Film Rewind, your go-to channel for the sassiest takes and deepest dives into all your favorite shows. Seriously, who needs a dry summary when you can have a full-on theatrical breakdown? Let's dive into the glorious, bloody, and utterly chaotic mess that is Squid Games Season 3. Episode 1, The Rebellion's Bloody Hangover. After a truly unsuccessful little uprising, we open with Kang No-wol pulling the ultimate double cross. She doesn't just shoot player 246, Yeon-suk, she does it with flair, pretending to play nice with the organ-harvesting thugs just to get them onto their fancy operating table. Talk about a cooperating with benefits. Our main man, Sung Gi-hoon, gets a one-way ticket back to the dorm. But don't pop the champagne. All the other rebels, except for Cho Hyunju and Kang Dae-ho, have had their final curtain call. They hold another vote to end the games. They vote to continue. Honestly, you'd think they'd learn, but apparently money talks louder than common sense. Gi-hoon is a wreck, naturally, and immediately blames Dae-ho for the whole disaster. The next game, a deadly, high-stakes version of hide-and-seek. Taggers are armed hunters, and hiders are scrambling for 3 different keys to unlock an exit. Before the mayhem, Dae-ho finally confronts Gi-hoon, pointing out that his initial plan was the original sin. Meanwhile, Geumja and Junhee pull a sneaky switcheroo, trading roles to become hiders. A smart move, darling. And poor Myunggi is reluctantly stuck tagging with Namgyu. In the surgical suite, Noelle decides she's done playing doctor, kills the traffickers, and forces the real doc to stabilize Yeong-suk at gunpoint, multitasking queen. Off-island, Hwang Junho's squad is still on the hunt with a new drone toy, while Woo-sok is quietly investigating the deliciously shady Captain Park. Oh, and the frontman, Hwang In-ho, issues a very simple, very scary command. Eliminate them. Drama, drama, drama. Episode 2, The Maze of Guilt and New Life. Noelle, never one to leave loose ends, silences the doctor for good after Yeong-suk wakes up. Now for the game. Hyunju, Geumja, and Junhee form a fierce hider-girl gang. Myunggi, meanwhile, has a cold realization. If he helps Namgyu kill other hiders, the prize pool gets bigger for him. Ruthless, but effective. In a truly tragic moment, Sonyo is betrayed and killed, thanks to the crazy drugs dropped by Namgyu that make Minsu go full Thanos on her. Yes, Thanos' drugs. I can't make this up. But the real tearjerker, Junhee twists her ankle and goes into labor. Yep, in the middle of a deadly game. Geumja helps deliver the baby while Hyunju is fighting off attackers like a warrior goddess. Sadly, Hyunju finds a way out only to be instantly slain by Myunggi. But at the sight of Junhee and her newborn, his guilt is a physical punch and he just walks away. Meanwhile, a vengeful Gi-hoon, now a tagger, finds Dae-ho. Dae-ho spills the tea. He was a fraud and a scaredy cat who betrayed them. Gi-hoon, completely losing it, strangles him to death. The game's almost over when Yeong-sik tries to kill the mom and baby duo. Geumja sacrifices her chance to intervene, stabbing Yeong-sik before the guards finish him off. Gi-hoon, overwhelmed by the mess of death, tries to end it all, but the guards say, "Not today, honey," and stop him. The audacity. Episode 3, Suicide, Sacrifice, and the Smallest Player. Enter the VIPs, who are now dressed up like soldiers just to personally execute the losers. Seriously, the ego. During the next vote, Geumja begs the O players to vote X, end the game, but they completely ignore her. Then she looks at Gi-hoon, pleads with him to protect Junhee and her baby, and when he initially refuses, she takes her own life, overwhelmed by the guilt of her own son's death. A heartbreaking, powerful moment. Moved by Geumja's ultimate sacrifice, Gi-hoon finally agrees to become the guardian of Junhee's newborn daughter in the next game, a terrifying game of jump rope across a giant swinging bridge. No one moves until Min-soo throws a drug-laced necklace onto the bridge, causing Namgyu to jump for it only to be smashed to death. And for the VIPs, they decide the baby counts as a player. Gi-hoon, vowing to return for Junhee, makes a successful, heart-stopping crossing with the baby in his arms.
He did it.
I knew it!
But wait, player 096 follows and immediately starts shoving people off to increase his winnings, greedy until the end.
뭐 하긴 게임하지.
Off the island, the masked officer, under threat from Noel, discovers Gyeong-sik undercover as a soldier. The plot thickens. Episode 4, Betrayal, Rescue, and a Final Offer. During the rope game, Gi-hoon's still crossing is blocked by that horrible player 096 and is forced to kill him in self-defense. Meanwhile, Myung-gi approaches Junhee, who, understandably, absolutely rejects him for murdering her friend. Then she entrusts her baby to Gi-hoon, and as the clock ticks down, sacrifices herself. Both Gi-hoon and Myung-gi are utterly crushed. The VIPs, bless their twisted hearts, vote to keep the baby as player 222. Gyeong-sik and Noel escape the island, but the masked officer's guards are hot on their heels. Back in the dorm, some players, especially Jongdae's group, try to harm the baby, but the guards shut that down fast. New rule, people, no more outside-of-game murders. Jongdae's group immediately starts plotting against Gi-hoon, the baby, and Min-soo, with Myung-gi pretending to join their little murder party. Before the final round, the frontman, In-ho, summons Gi-hoon and proposes a secret deal: eliminate the remaining players to save himself and the baby. Then comes the bombshell. In-ho reveals he was actually Oh Young-il. Gi-hoon is floored and utterly enraged. Elsewhere, Woo-sok gets a message to Junho about Captain Park working for In-ho. Park kills most of the team, but Junho mortally wounds him, extracting a final confession. Junho is now on a singular mission: find his brother. And in a final, agonizing twist, the masked officer forces Noel to return by threatening Gyeong-suk and his daughter. She complies, ensuring their escape before going back to the snake pit. Episode 5, Family Secrets and a Final Finale. Gi-hoon has a moral crisis over In-ho's offer, but a memory of Kang Se-byok reminds him he's a good person. He refuses. In-ho, meanwhile, flashes back to his own dark past under Oh Young-il's thumb. The next day, Gi-hoon, Myung-gi, and the rest of the finalists, including the baby, head to the final game. Noelle, back on the island, forces the officer to destroy all digital and physical records of Gyeongsuk and the players, killing him and burning the room, including her own guard record. What a mic drop! The final game is Sky Squid Game, requiring players to push 3 opponents off 3 elevated platforms over 3 rounds. Minsu is pushed off first. Myunggi pushes player 336 and drops another bomb. He is the baby's biological father. Jungdae's group brutally beats up player 039 to use as a sacrificial pawn, but Gi-hoon kills player 203 in self-defense. Then, Myunggi pushes player 353. Jungdae begs for his life, but Myunggi shoves him off anyway. Player 039, seeing no way out, commits suicide. Only Gi-hoon, Myunggi, and the baby remain. Off the island, Junho has a successful rescue mission, saving Gyeongsuk and executing the guards. Episode 6, The Ultimate Sacrifice and a New Beginning. Noelle is surrounded by the flames of the records room, contemplates suicide, but chooses life. Back on the final platform, Myunggi makes his move, trying to get Gi-hoon to hand over the baby so he can throw it off and win. A final confrontation leads to Myunggi falling to his death. Doesn't count, game not started yet. Phew! With just him and the baby, Gi-hoon presses the start button and makes the ultimate statement. Declaring that the players were humans, not horses, he throws himself off the edge. A true hero's exit. His death absolutely shocks the VIPs and, crucially, inspires Inho to save the baby as the island begins its dramatic self-destruct sequence just as the Coast Guard rolls in. Inho, Junho, the VIPs, Noelle, and the staff all manage to evacuate. 6 months later, Gyeongsuk is reunited with his daughter and meets Noelle, who's off to China to find her own daughter. Saebyok's brother Cheryl is happily reunited with his mother. Woosak is free and planning to renovate Gi-hoon's old fortified hotel, a lovely tribute. Inho leaves the baby and the prize money to Junho. He then travels to Los Angeles to visit Gi-hoon's daughter, gives her his bloody Player 456 tracksuit and the rest of his winnings, and delivers the crushing news of his death. After leaving, Inho sees an American recruiter playing dodgeball with a man, revealing the terrifying truth: the games have gone global. Ooh, what a ride! I mean, a newborn baby, Phanos drugs, and a final shocking twist about a US game? Season 3 was truly unhinged in the best way possible. Is there a particular character arc, wild plot twist, or tragic sacrifice you want me to rewind and break down even further? Let me know.